Staley, how big of a test is this for you guys?
As big of a test as we've had. This is a really good team that we're playing. We've got a lot of outstanding players and coaches, and a lot of guys that we're familiar with. Definitely one of the best teams we've played all year for sure.
Just where is Keenan at? He's doubtful, but just what have you seen from him in practice?
Progress, playing in pads and been able to get a lot more full speed, high speed yards. So the load is increased, and so is the explosiveness of that load. So getting closer, like I said, day to day, and it's been good to have him out there at practice.
With Corey, Josh said he had a fever. Do you expect him to be able to play Monday?
Yeah, just a day, like a 24-hour thing.
Third division game of the season. Can you just talk about how important it is to win your division game specifically at home?
Yeah, home field is so important in the NFL, and your division. You have 6 of these games that are really tight. You know each other really well, and they count for a lot. Anytime you can play teams the first time around, especially at home, you want to try and take advantage of it. But anytime you play in a division like ours, every game, no matter where it's played, is going to be tight, and that's why Monday night's going to be an exciting game.
Their offense has struggled so far. How do you ensure that your defense, it seems obvious, right? Russell Wilson's out there, they can't take him lightly, but how do you ensure that your defense isn't kind of looking past what the Broncos could potentially do?
Yeah, you just have a decade worth of film of Russell Wilson, and if you need a reminder, which we've given our guys a reminder of, is a decade worth of film of him being one of the top players in the league. And you watch Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler and that group of players, they're skill players, Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, that group of guys. They have all the pieces to be successful, and sometimes it just takes time. So you can see on the film where, hey, maybe that play didn't go down, but it's there. And hey, when they get their timing, when they find their rhythm, like this team is extremely explosive, extremely dynamic. So they have our full respect in all 3 phases, because they're a team in all 3 phases that has a lot of weapons. So they have our full respect and attention.
Go ahead.
What's the latest with Keenan's progression, and what do you need to see from him for him to be able to play?
He's progressing well. This week, getting in practice was important. Being an individual, and then being able to run full speed for long periods of long periods of time. But I think getting him into the 11 on 11, where hey, you're going man to man against somebody. You need to be able to do that before you go out there and play. So I think that's just the next step, is getting that last bit of practice underneath him. And but we're headed in the right direction for sure.
Do you think he'll be able to do that next week, the 11 on 11s?
I hope so. We've been progressing well, so hopefully he stays on track.
Just with Trey's knee, how is he doing? Any worry that he might not be able to go Sunday?
Not to this point. He's handled it well, sore and stuff like that. But we fully anticipate him to play, barring a setback between now and then.
What are the challenges of this Denver pass rush?
Well, they've got a lot of them. They've got a lot of pass rushers, both outside and inside. I know they don't have Gregory, but Bradley Chubb, as good as it gets in the league, playing at a really high level. Browning is doing a really good job. And then they've got guys who can rush inside, too. So, DJ Jones, Draymond Jones, Mike Purcell, that group of guys, Deshaun Williams, they've got a lot of rushers. And then their linebackers can rush, too. And then K'Wan Williams, their nickel, can rush. So, they've put people in a lot of known passing situations, and they've really affected the quarterback all year long.
What additional challenges does it present if Justin Simmons plays for the Broncos?
Yeah, Justin's one of the top safeties in the league. So when he's playing, everything's going to be different. And so he's a guy that's always around the football, run game and pass game, outstanding in the deep part of the field, outstanding in zone coverage, outstanding man-to-man slot cover, open field tackling, just the communication. He's seen so much. He's a connector. So, it's going to be a challenge for sure.
You mentioned all the guys they have that affect the pass rush. What do you have to do to make sure that those guys don't continue the trend that they've had this season?
Well, if all they're thinking about is pass, then it's not looking good for you. So you got to make them worry about more than just that.
What have you learned about your ball club in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, we've got real toughness and resilience on the team. I think we're figuring it out, which is what you got to do early in the season, especially when you go through a lot of transition. It forces you to adjust, and I thought we showed a lot of resilience on the road, and we haven't played clean yet, but I think that our team is starting to learn how to play together, and I think there's a process in that happening. But to get 2 road wins in a row, that's been big for us.
Dustin, good to go?
Yeah, Dustin should be good to go for Monday.
What have you seen from Josh with Keenan being out, like kind of stepping into a bigger role? What more do you want to see?
I think just playing fast, Bridget. I think that's all we want from Josh, is that he's an outstanding player. And when a guy goes out, you don't want anyone to feel like they have to do more than just what they always do. How they get deployed in the game plan may be a little bit differently, but just make sure that you play your game and keep improving. And we feel like he's a really quality player, and he just needs to play fast, be aggressive, and that's when he's at his best for us.
How'd the open competition between Lowe and Nas play out this week?
Yeah, Eric, it's played out well. It's good for our football team, and Nas has responded as we knew he would, and so has Lowe. And we know that we have 2 quality safeties, and you guys will know at the game how it plays out. But I feel like that's been good for our football team, and it's not just that position either. It's everywhere on our football team. Sometimes that happens on a team where just because the season starts doesn't mean like that's how it's going to finish. And so you want that on your team, because that means you have depth, and that's what we're trying to establish. Is you got to earn your way, and that's what's going to allow us to be as good as we can be.
Will you look to get Donald a little more involved? I think he had 1 target.
Yeah, he had a lot of stuff up in the plan that didn't get called, but the fact that Donald's one of the 3 guys active means that he's going to be fully active in the plan. We're going to do our best to get him the ball, and I just think for him, like anybody coming off that long of a stretch, is just getting into rhythm. And kind of like Josh, just playing fast, playing aggressive. And, once you get out there, you find that feeling again. So excited for him to have his second game out there in a row.